savaged.
This is Savage 10 with Michael and the Old Man.
Hey guys, welcome to Savage 10. Happy July 10th. Damn it, I can't believe it's already July 10th. What the hell's this month going by? Guys, I do want to say sorry for any inconvenience, though, but my co-host, the Old Man, okay, is busy doing some other projects, so he's going to be off the show today. He will be joining us tomorrow, and I know he has some things going on this Tuesday because we have our show with April Brooker coming up this Tuesday, guys. You're going to want to check that out. I'm sure it's going to be funny. I'm sure it's going to be hilarious. It's always hilarious with April. She is probably the funniest comedian that I know. She's original, and she's not afraid to give the punchline, if you know what I mean. But anyway, guys, welcome to today's show. I had a run-in the other day at this coffee shop, okay, here in Atlanta. And if you guys weren't aware of this, now you are. I'm a huge fan of Einstein Bagels. I love them. I love that they're in Georgia. I love that, they're a chain company, right? And I had a run-in at this company. And what I mean by a run-in is I usually have a thing when it comes to public restrooms, right? Where if I have to use them, I'll be in and out, folks. I'm not one to make it a stop like it's a freaking hotel or whatever. But I went to go do my business. And there was an individual that claimed themselves to be a transgender or whatever the hell they're deciding to call themselves today. Now, folks, I don't care what you do in your personal business. I can care less, guys. I'm not a radical conservative. I'm not a crazy man when it comes to labeling them out. Okay. Because again, I don't care if you want to do that, if it makes you happy, by all means. But like I say all the time on this show, folks, do not expect me to acknowledge it, to support it, or promote it in any way. Because I'm not. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to go among my business and pretend that it doesn't exist. Because in my eyes, it doesn't exist. I mean, I could do a whole fucking show on that fucking topic. Okay? Closing this out, folks, I think it's a concern for this nation. I think people need to reevaluate their identities because I think there's something clearly wrong with them upstairs. Okay? But that's neither there or neither where, right? But I want to talk about this run-in that I had with an individual. Now, I happen to stop at this Einstein Bagels, which I absolutely support. I love their business. I love their model of their business. I love the concept. And I decided to stop at Einstein Bagels to pick up a cup of coffee, and I love their breakfast sandwiches. I absolutely, they're delicious. They remind me of home up in New York City. If you moved to where I moved to, almost 11 years ago to Atlanta, okay, you're going to want to find a place that resembles home a little bit, right? Because not for nothing, folks, but other than Einstein Bagel breakfast sandwiches, the food in Atlanta sucks. The Chinese food is terrible. The pizza's horrible. I still to this day, folks, cannot find a pizza shop to save my life around this city. I just can't. I haven't found one shop. I haven't even found like a Chinese parlor, Chinese restaurant, right? That resembles New York City style Chinese. But of all that, I'm glad that we have a company like Einstein Bagels that can mimic the style of their coffee and their breakfast sandwiches. Because we all know that Jewish people make a delicious, delicious bagel. Oh, God. But anyway, guys, before picked up my coffee, decided to use the bathroom. And what happens? I run into a person that's entitled, that thinks that the world revolves around them, and we have to stop everything we're doing for them. Well, folks, let me tell you something. The world doesn't revolve around nobody. Yes, you might be special. You might have a lot going on, but guess what? There's other people in this world besides you. So, for those that do not know me and those that are just coming onto the show and experiencing me the first time, thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. Appreciate it. But a little bit about me, folks, okay? I do not support that crap. And when I see people trying to use the public restroom, okay, that doesn't represent their gender at birth, I have a problem with that. Yes, I do. And I will direct them to the right bathroom, as I hope you should do the same to protect yourself, protect your family, and your children for that matter. This person happened to be a woman that was trying to use the men's bathroom. Yeah, they're out there, folks. Usually we see the men that are trying to use the women's restroom, but this happened to be a woman that is transitioning into a man to get surgical parts put on her to be a man. And I kindly said, ma'am, the women's room is right across here in this little hallway. Please use the respected bathroom. I'm a man. I said, ma'am, you are in the wrong direction. Please use that bathroom. Now, even in a normal reality, you would think like, well, she's really a woman. Why wouldn't you want her to use the men's room? Wouldn't you find that to be kind of hot? No, I don't find that to be kind of hot. I find that to be kind of disgusting, ridiculous, and a little disturbing, if you ask me, because that's just nasty. And yes, I have a problem with that. So, how I solved that was I went to the next concept, folks, because clearly this ill deranged person was not comprehending and not getting the memo. I said, all right, you want to play this fucking game? We'll play this fucking game. Took my fucking phone out of my pocket. And I said, okay. Called the Atlanta Police Department. She didn't like that one damn bit. Why are you making this difficult? I said, I'm not making this difficult. I just don't want the opposite sex using this bathroom. Because not only am I using this bathroom, but you have possibly family in there, right? With their children and their whatever. Can you imagine that? A little child in the bathroom with his father, whatever. And the child sees this deranged individual trying to come into the bathroom. That's a safe space for that child and the father, and possibly other people that are using the bathroom. They don't want to see the opposite sex going into the bathroom. First and foremost, they don't belong in the fucking bathroom to begin with. So anyway, guys, that was my little quick spiel here on Savage 10. I try to keep them within 10 minutes. Sometimes I go overboard a little bit depending on, how the mood goes. But folks, if you see people trying to use these bathrooms, do the right thing. Call the fucking police so these monsters and these deranged individuals get locked up where they belong. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys, for our Saturday program, including Tuesday with our guest, April Brooker, joining us. And then, of course, throughout the week for our Savage Unfiltered shows with the old man. The old man will be back next Thursday. Again, he'll be with us tomorrow on the program. Couldn't join us today. Had some projects to do. But he will be back fully for next week's programs on Thursday and Friday. Till next time, guys, take it easy. I'm Michael Gardner, and we'll see you next time, guys.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.